Good morning, true crime friends. It's Sunday morning. Listen, there is all kinds of news out of South Carolina today. Eagle-eyed gossips have given me details down in the comments, and I'm going to break it all down for you. So grab yourself a cup of coffee. You're going to need coffee. You're going to need a lot of coffee this morning. But first, hit the like button, on each video. Listen, I recently discovered this. For my favorite YouTubers, I was like, I hit the like button last week, so I'm good. No, turns out you're supposed to hit the like button on each video. I don't know why that never occurred to me. And if you want to know, all the latest, the hottest gossip, then you have to hit subscribe and the little button. So, I'm so bossy this morning. Lord, I'm bossy this morning. I mean, I'm bossy every day. But just hit the like button and subscribe if you want to. Anyway, look, let me get to South Carolina. First of all, breaking news overnight that Greg Leone, who we discussed just yesterday, did we talk him up? Greg Leone has unalived himself. It's terrible, but also kind of explains a lot, right? Okay, so look, this dude comes from a prominent family. He comes from the San Jose, San Antonio, the guacamole fortune down there in South Carolina. His daddy started a guacamole restaurant. A Mexican restaurant 40 years ago in Atlanta. And then they brought the restaurants to Atlanta. And Greg and his brothers had 8 restaurants around the state. And so him and his family have run these restaurants for years and years and years. Apparently the food is amazing. I have questions about their queso, also questions about their guacamole. Are the chips homemade? Okay, I might have to take a little trip to South Carolina just to check that out. Although I'm terrified of South Carolina because it doesn't seem safe to me. But whatever, maybe because I follow a lot of true crime. Anyway, so Greg got convicted of unaliving his wife's younger lover. The wife, who was using drugs, bought her lover, Arturo, a brand new Toyota truck. And then later that night, on Valentine's Day, this wife and the younger lover were found doing the horizontal mambo in the truck. And so Greg showed up and was like, oh, I think he's assaulting my wife. He was assaulting her all right with his joystick. And so Greg pulled out a gun and helped resolve the situation. And then he cried, oh, I think it was self-defense. Yeah. Yes, he was butt naked. Yes, he was there in the cab of the Toyota. Clearly, must be a very big cab because I cannot imagine. Ooh, child, when you're young, you could get it with your boyfriend in the truck or whatever and everything is good. At my age, I need a wide playing field with a memory foam mattress. But if you're not my husband, don't remember Mr. Mattress. Anyway, so Greg unalived his wife's lover, and then he tampered with evidence. He threw away the gun, and then he was like, oops, I threw away the gun. I'm so sorry. And so then he told the cops where the gun was. And he was also very good friends with our very good friend, Eric Bland. Oh, I meant to jump on Twitter to see Eric Bland's reaction to the unaliving of his friend, Greg Leone. And then, because it was not enough that you threw away the gun, Mr. Leone, you then went to Arturo, the dead lover. You went to his roommate/lover, who was this transgender woman, and was like, listen, I made up this long list of lies, and if you could just tell them to the police, that would be very helpful to me. Thank you so much. And the lover was like, right. Okay, so listen, let me think about it, and then we'll meet back later. So he meets up with her again later, and she's like, could you speak directly into this button right here on my shirt so that I could get all the details? And he was like, sure. This is what I want you to say, speaking directly into her bosom or wherever. And then she was like, thank you so much. Hello, Sled. I have the tapes. We're good to go. I have the tapes. And so then for whatever reason, there was a third meeting to confirm the fake story. How many times? Was she not that bright? Did she not take notes? What is happening? So, but Greg was busy because, he got a guacamole fortune to look after. So he sent his agent. I don't know who the agent was, probably like a dish boy or something. Anyway, Daisy, you going to stop squeaking that toy. Now, I told you, if you're going to be up here, you got to behave. Anyway, so he sends his agent to give her $500, and she also has to repeat the story again. But, she was going for an Academy Award with the final performance. She was like, okay, my microphone is in place. I got my bra gun and a butt crack gun because this is South Carolina. She probably had a knife and a sock too. They believe in some weapons down there in South Carolina. So She was like, okay, agent of Mr. Greg Leone, if you could speak directly into this nice flower. No, it doesn't squirt water. It doesn't. It just, there's a microphone in there, but it doesn't squirt water. Tell me again what I'm supposed to say. And the dude was like, okay, blah, 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 list of lies you're supposed to say. And she was like, ooh, but if I said that, that would not be true. And he was like, you're hilarious. Here's the money. And she was like, thank you for the cash. And then I imagine she kept the cash, child, because if it was me, I would be like, oh, we having a nice dinner tonight. I'm getting a new handbag and maybe a new pair of shoes. Anyway, she took the recording, she gave it to Sled, and all of this came up at his murder trial. Even though he had the best defense attorney in South Carolina, the dude looked creepy. Like the defense attorney, I want to see him in action. I want to see him on court TV. But anyway, so they went to court. He had a great lawyer. He was found guilty in very short order. And so he was like, okay, yeah. I've been out for 7 years because I kept delaying the trial, and now I'm just going to go to prison. They sentenced me to 30 years. He's in Kirkland now. We know because we know from the Alex Murdaugh case that Kirkland is like the halfway house or whatever. I mean, it's not a house, it's a prison. But if you're going to go into the prison system, the first thing they do is send you to Kirkland to get sorted, like the sorting hat in Harry Potter, only not. So he's at Kirkland, and he was looking around, and he was like, these accommodations are not up to snuff. I wonder what is waiting for me in the hereafter. Let me think. Kirkland, the hereafter. Kirkland, the hereafter. State prison for 30 years, the hereafter. Hereafter, here I come. And so then he left. He departed this mortal coil to go to the next one. This is what I want to know. But first, a teensy bit of background. See, I grew up in an evangelical family in Indiana where everybody thought the same way, or at least I was led to believe, about the afterlife. And that is that you die and you go immediately to heaven or to hell. And then that was that. Right. But then I moved to the godless Northeast, where I have remained low these last 30 years, where I blend. Because when I was a kid, all the things I was taught, I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Yes, I was 6 with theological disagreements with the rest of my family, but I was 6 and I wanted to not be grounded for the rest of my life. So I was like, yeah, that sounds good. Great. But honestly, secretly in my heart, I think I was always a heathen. According to them. According to me, I'm not a heathen, but according to them, big heathen, all the heretic in the world. I'm very proud of it. Anyway, so when I moved to the godless Northeast, I started hearing what other people think about the afterlife. And they had some very interesting ideas, many of which I have adopted. Number one, and some of them I just made up myself. Okay, so number one, in the godless Northeast, there are certain beliefs that people have that I had never heard of. Number one, endless heaven buffet. We got to talk about endless heaven buffet. So here's the thing. Many people believe that when you die, you get to eat everything you ever wanted at a buffet. I don't know how I feel about buffets. Is there coffin in the afterlife? Is there a sneeze guard? Is it not necessary? Do you not have allergies in the afterlife? Is Claritin abundant? Anyway, so there's an endless heaven buffet where all of your favorite foods are there and they never run out. What? How are people not rushing to get there right now? Like, endless? Oh, and you don't gain weight. Listen, I'm about to show all the way out over there at the Endless Heaven Buffet. Oh, the cookies. I am going to eat all the cookies. And I don't like soft cookies. I like a crunch. If the cookie is not fresh out of the oven, like it might burn my mouth, it's so hot, then I want it to be thin and crisp and not chocolate chip. I mean, you can do chocolate chip, I guess, but I like a lemon cookie. I like a vanilla cookie. I like it very thin and very crispy. When I bite it, I want it to crunch and kind of fall apart with lots of butter, especially if my arteries are not going to clog since I'm already there in the afterlife. I want all the butter. I want some nuts. I love a walnut. What were we talking about? Oh, okay, heaven. So, that sounds like heaven. And guacamole. Listen, will Greg Leone be the guacamole king in the afterlife? Will he make the good chips? Like the good fresh chips? Oh, okay. So the Endless Heaven Buffet is always there. It never runs out. You don't gain weight and you can go anytime you want. So every time I eat something particularly good, I'm like, oh, this is going to be on my Endless Heaven Buffet. And it's all your favorite foods. So if somebody else likes something different, they get all their favorite foods. It never runs out. The other common belief among heathens that I have run into is that the afterlife is whatever you want it to be. So if you believe in like you get a magic flying carpet. Well, then in your heaven, you get a magic flying carpet. If you believe you're going to burn in hell, then you go to hell. If you believe that everybody gets angel wings, then you get angel wings. They seem heavy to me. I don't. So it is whatever you want it to be. So in my personal heaven, absolutely the endless heaven buffet in the leafy green suburbs. And if I get to choose, oh no, I'm thinking of hell too. But same thing. Lord, the comments I'm going to get on this video correcting me, save your comment. Now listen, comment if you want to, because that kind of interaction, YouTube appreciates. And so do I for my analytics. But just know that the angry messages and the nice messages and the preachy messages, I don't care. Whatever you believe, great for you. Whatever I believe, great for me. So anyway, child, this is not a sermon. Anyway, so Greg Leone has gone to work at the Endless Heaven Buffet over there on the other side. And he has 7 years from the murder to his conviction to get everything set up. And apparently the restaurants have all been handed off to his children. So happy ending? Is that a happy ending? The other thing I wonder about is he going to run into Arturo on the other side? Like, how do they not bump into each other? Is there enough space that you don't have to worry about it? Did Arturo know he was coming? Was there an announcement? Is there a bulletin board? Do you get an iPad with daily announcements coming soon to the waiting room near you? I want to know how that works. So he's walking down the street, right? Arturo's walking down the street. He has a little dog. He has a girlfriend, whatever he's doing up there. And he's like, I be doggone. Here come this Greg Leone. I have not had to deal with him in 7 years, and now I have to see his behind over there at the Heaven Piggly Wiggly. Nobody wants that. Maybe you can just avoid the people you don't like. And what about the people who you sent to the other side? Is there some sort of like, do you have to have a conference? Do you have to like have a sit down with the principal or whatever? I don't know who's in charge, but whatever. I just have thoughts and I have questions. Additionally, Alex Murdaugh, who looks like he's been at the Endless Earth Buffet, because he looking a little fleshy these days. Alex, when he was going to try, he was like, I'm doing burpees, I'm working out, I'm jogging in my cell. Not so much anymore, because apparently Mr. Murdaugh's nudes have leaked. Child, I don't know if he's actually nude. I still needed eye bleach for the little bit that I saw. It was not good. It was not. His workout routine has gone all the way out the window. He has settled into prison. Now, apparently, over there in prison, you get a tablet. Oh, well, who knew? It does not connect to the internet unless you read books, listen to music, and watch movies. And apparently, they pass them out to everybody to keep the prisoners quiet and calm. Because, if you're watching, I don't know, Sleepless in Seattle, I guess you're not busy shanking your cellmate. So that's how they do it down there. And I'm like, okay, but how are these pictures getting out? Apparently you can also use it to talk on the phone. So, but you can only talk on the phone and email to people who are on your list, right? Like your prescribed list. It's a very short list of people. So he's talking on the phone to one of his people. He's very casual. He's out. He has his old man glasses on, slid down to the end of his nose, no shirt on. It's probably hot. And he's having like basically a FaceTime call on his tablet with somebody down, with one of his close friends and family. And they screenshotted it and then circulated the pictures. Alex, somebody inside your camp has done you dirty. Who do you think it is? You know that one brother who doesn't really like him? I suspect him. Now, do I have any proof? No, I 100% just made that up right now. So, Associated Press, if you're watching this, don't pick that up and run with it. Or more like TMZ or somebody like that. Child, a lot of these news sources don't be checking stuff. I know I don't check things thoroughly, but I like give things a passing glance. So, Alex Murdaugh's disgusting half-nude photos are out there. He has a big, wide, bright red chest with... It's not good. It's not good. But you can go look if you want to. It's not hard to find. And on the topic of gross, fleshy men, this serial killer on Long Island. Look, so that we're clear, the national media is saying that this guy is from New York City. Let us be abundantly clear. He's from Long Island. That is a different thing. That is not New York City. Honestly, I have been to Long Island. I don't go that often since my passport has expired. I'm not going out there. Now, for the record, one of my kids is out there right now, today, this very day. Went out there yesterday to hang out with a friend. That's like an hour from here, right? I work in New York City. Now look at me giving away all my personal, but how many minutes in? Okay, we 15 minutes in. If you got to 15 minutes in, then you're probably like, you're going to stay and me and you cool, right? So I can reveal like teensy little things about my personal life, right? So I live in the leafy green suburbs of New York City, but I work in the city. Very, very, very close. Like literally I could walk to New York City from where I live. And so my kid who goes to school, like upstate someplace, has friends from college that are on Long Island. So he goes out to Long Island to hang out with his friends. So listen, I'm a mama and I'm nosy. I was like, oh, baby, where you going? He's like, with a friend. I was like, well, exactly where? Can I get, some coordinates? You have the latitude and longitude. And he was like, oh. And I was like, okay, I was just being silly. Go have fun. And then he left and I just pulled him up because, I pay for that cell phone plan. So I will track you behind if it feels so moved. So I was like, let's see where he is. Okay. Yep. He's definitely on Long Island. And I was like, let me zoom out so I can see where this is geographically in case I need to go rescue my child. How long is it going to take? How much gas do I need? What is the entire situation? So I'm pinching the little map. And what do I see? Gilgo Beach. I was like, oh. That's where the killer was. What? Is my child safe? Number one, that child is technically an adult in that he is over 18, but he is still my baby. When he's 80, he's still going to be my baby. I'm going to be sitting at the heaven buffet, eat myself another cookie, like, oh, look at my baby. He got grandkids and great-great-grandkids. He's still going to be my baby. So anyway, I'm like, okay, Gilgo Beach is where this dude, big, fleshy, gross looking. The news described him as an org-looking, shaggy-haired monster or something like that. I was like, the shade. But I guess if you're a serial killer, we gonna throw shade your way. It just comes with it. Murder, dismemberment, shade, all goes together. So anyway, this dude who was like a mild-mannered architect, very successful, whatever, was picking up sex workers. He's in his 50s. He was picking up young sex workers, like women in their 20s, and unaliving them and dumping them on the beach. And some of them he wrapped in burlap. Thanks for being tidy. Where do you get that? Burlap is itchy. Did you have to wear gloves? Anyway, he was just a creeper. And he'd been doing it for years and nobody suspected him. This is what I think everybody should understand. Back in the day, if you saw like an all-purpose minority, whether it's anybody whose skin was not like super, super white, if you had a tan, people were like, oh, there's a crime, he did it, right? So don't spend too long at the beach without some sunscreen because all of a sudden people will be like, you look guilty. They're going to follow you in stores and whatever. But if you're just like a regular, plain, boring white guy, they're like, oh, well, no, he's obviously a businessman. Look, you can tell from the golf shirt. Now the whole mechanics has been switched up. Alex Murdaugh, golf shirts, and murder. I'm just saying, they go together. This dude, they arrested him when he was wearing like a gray polo. It turns out he's a serial killer. I'm telling you, average white dudes in murder. Now, it used to be, people were like, oh, I was walking down the street. I saw a gang of teenagers. I saw some minorities. I locked my doors. Now, you see an average white dude, you better lock your doors. Don't go near him. I'm just saying. And it's not about being white. It's about being average and murdery, right? So I'm like, why was he? And the shade of the New York Post. So look, some of y'all don't know, but I know. The New York Post is a rag. It's a tabloid, and they have very, very strong political leanings, one direction over the other. I'm not going to go into it. But, and so certain stories are reported in a way where it's like, this shady president, that shady politician, whatever. The New York Post is always throwing shade. I'm kind of here for it, but I don't like their politics. So there's that. But the New York Post was like, here is the shaggy haired killer who lived on Long Island. Notice his golf shirt. And they were like, and here's a picture of his wife. Why you got to throw the wife under the bus? What'd she do? Listen, I guarantee you this dude had a secret life. I mean, I don't know that. But what wife is going to be like, yeah, you like slinking around and we don't understand what's happening and there's a lot of blood in the trunk of your car and rolls of burlap? That sounds great. Sure. Was he at the Joann Fabric murder aisle? Because Joann Fabric has a lot of stuff you can use to kill people. You thought Walmart's murder aisle was good? Joann Fabric. They have the burlap for wrapping the bodies. They have all kinds of ropes and cords and strings and stuff like that. Tape like you can't imagine. So many glue guns. A whole aisle of glue guns. Joann Fabric might be more dangerous than the Walmart murder aisle. And you can get some black fabric and sew yourself up an outfit to hide in. I'm just saying. So, this fleshy, gross, who kind of looks like Alex Murdaugh, if you really want to know the truth. I'm just glad that this gentleman did not unalive his wife, but he probably should not have been unaliving anybody because that's bad form. And honestly, you gonna go deep, deep to hell. Now, I fully expect this pampered little businessman, he's absolutely gonna unalive himself. In my opinion, I'm not wishing that on him. I'm merely speculating. But if he did, wouldn't surprise me at all. Because he was going to be like, the accommodations here are not that nice. I just, this is my bed. Can you send the concierge? Because there's no concierge. How am I supposed to, is there a telephone? So, on this tablet here, can I call the front desk and ask for more pillows? And I'm going to need them to better clean that. You don't have, Okay, so don't worry about me. I'm going to take this sheet and twist it up and do whatever they do to get out of there. But, I don't suspect he's going to stay around too long. So go on and investigate your crime. But you know how they found him? Because he was not in, his DNA or whatever was not in the database? Through pizza crust. They took the DNA off of his pizza crust and some other kind of food thing. And I was like, see, you're supposed to eat the crust. What have we learned from true crime? Eat all of your pizza crust because apparently the FBI can get DNA off your pizza crust and throw you in jail. But also, maybe don't murder people. Pro tip. If you're going to be a murderer, eat all of your pizza crust and brush your teeth, but then wipe down everything in your house. But probably it's just easier. Don't murder people. That's just a little life hack from me to you. Okay. It's starting to get hot up here. I need to go downstairs and do the rest of my recording for today because, child, we have many, many true crimes to talk about today. And I am here for them, but I need to be in a place where it's less hot. Okay, you guys have a great, safe day. I will talk to you later. Don't forget to hit the like button. And there's merchandise like I don't have my merch up here today. There's merchandise for Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo over on the About tab. Some of you have found it. Some of you have not. Maybe I'll start putting the merch thing in all my descriptions. I have to make myself a note, child, because I'm not going to remember that. It seems like a great idea, but I'm unlikely to remember. Okay, you have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.